I would.
So the 5th we had UFC on Fox, right? Diaz and Miller.
Yes.
That was a good night for fights, I have to say.
All fights were very, very
Awesome fights.
Yeah,
Awesome fights.
Definitely. So I know against Pajares, Belcher won. I was actually surprised about that.
But that's good that he won because he beat him at his own.
He did.
He did.
Did you see how many times he went for those legs? It was immediately.
He
He went for legs.
Yeah.
I was so scared for Belcher because when the guy went for the legs, I was like, oh my god, it's like Ronda Rousey going for an hour.
Tear something there.
He's a
yes.
specialist. Like she's an armbar specialist. And he got him several times, but Belcher, man, when you have two jiu-jitsu black belts,
you can tell he
how to get out of
the max for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew what to do and he figured it out, and somebody needed to do that.
Yeah, good preparation, I have to say. Hendricks won against Koscheck. I was actually on the fence about this decision.
I really wanted Koscheck to win. I don't know why.
I'm not a huge Koscheck
I'm not a huge Koscheck
but I actually thought he was going to win.
Yeah, and the fight was so close.
It was close.
It was so close. He won by a hair.
But it was probably one of the best fights of the night.
Yeah.
So
It
at
was
that
so
point, it was like
explosive.
anybody who won.
It was
would have
non-stop
been good.
action.
Yeah.
Non-stop action. It was so explosive. It was amazing.
They both gave it.
But
all
I
have to say.
mean, in the middle of the round, which I found very surprising, was that Koscheck had broken his eye socket.
Yeah,
in the fight before.
Before.
And it looked like he did it before. Nobody has said anything about it, but there was a point in the middle of the fight that it was like he sort of was very timid, and his eye just got very big.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they actually have a lot to do with that.
And then he came back in the third round. He totally took the third.
Because I think he realized, who gives a crap about my eye? Let's just go for it, you know?
Yeah, and you can see just how much of a superior wrestler he was.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
That was an awesome fight.
That was a good fight.
Awesome
both
fight.
of them. I have to give credit to both of them because they really actually put a lot of effort into it. I'm sure they trained a lot for that fight. That was great. And Diaz took it home.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt really paid off.
And it's weird because Jim Miller is such a good fighter.
Yeah.
And he's so entertaining, and Diaz just walked all over him. I mean, he just totally took this whole fight.
Yeah, did you see his Miller's face after during the guillotine?
Yeah,
during the guillotine, his tongue out,
like
red mouth.
His tongue.
Yeah.
His tongue was stuck out. It was gross, but
it was funny.
It was. It was very cool, though. I mean, that whole fight was very cool, and I think that Jim Miller will learn from that experience. You know, I mean, I think people do underestimate Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
and
they see the big brother, and they don't really pay much attention.
And
to
he's
the
a
brother.
good fighter.
Yeah, he's a very good fighter, and I'm glad that
he's
back at 155 because he just wasn't good, doing good at 170.
Yeah. That was very good of him to go back.
Yeah,
I agree with that too.
So now he got a title shot. I hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna have a title shot at 155 division.
No kidding.
Awesome.
Yeah, so he's really coming out of Big Brother's shadow.
We'll see if it really happens, though.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. They're talking about it, but
we'll see. So hopefully,
eventually.
Hopefully, he's proved himself.
I think he's proving himself time and time again.
Same night was Mayweather and Cotto.
Oh,
and this has been long anticipated because it was actually supposed to be Mayweather and Pacquiao this weekend, but Cotto came through with wanting to actually do the fight and everything. And Cotto and Margarito was a great fight, and I thought Cotto had in him to actually maybe take Mayweather for this one.
Well, if you saw Mayweather's face afterwards, you know that Cotto came out guns blazing because Mayweather's face was busted up.
Yeah.
But Mayweather's Mayweather, you know.
Of course.
And that pretty much says everything.
So he did take it, and maybe he didn't deserve it, but Cotto is a great fighter, and I don't think anybody should ever sell him short for that.
No, not at all. Cotto is an amazing fighter, but he's just not up to par with Mayweather. He gave it his best, and the only person who could bring out the best in Mayweather to really show the kind of fighter that he is would be Manny Pacquiao. But there's just so many politics involved.
They've gone back and forth the last few years on this, and it's really getting annoying.
Yeah, and it's drug testing, and then it's money, and now it's
location too.
And oh my God.
Well, I heard some interesting news about Mayweather's belt. Did you guys hear? I'm not very into the the
Yeah.
Hollywood gossip,
Mhm.
but Justin Bieber
Yes.
had
Yeah.
Mayweather's title or
Just-
belt,
Yes.
like walking around with it that same night.
Justin
So
Bieber.
he was like hanging out with him.
Yeah, Justin Bieber actually called Mayweather his mentor, of all people.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
that's very weird fact for you people.
Yeah, you know, you have Mayweather, you
Just-
have
you
his
just wouldn't
entourage,
picture
you
those
have
two people
50
hanging
Cent and
out.
his entourage,
Yeah.
and then you have Justin Bieber.
You just wouldn't picture them hanging out. That was
No, not at all.
I
That's
know what you said.
Tag along or Mosley and Alvarez was another fight on the same card that night, which I
Right.
was surprised actually that they were on the same card for that night because they're big time. I mean,
yeah, and Mosley
they
needs to
really-
retire.
Well, yeah.
He's done. I mean,
There's
he's
a lot of boxing going on right now in this, in this time.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, he's in his 40s. He's like Bernard Hopkins. Those two just need to retire.
They
Like,
need to
they done.
retire. No, I
You know,
agree with
go
this.
away. You know, make room for other people. You know,
Yeah.
and they get beaten back and forth. You know, last time Mosley fought, I think it was Pacquiao.
Yes.
And
Last year, this
yeah,
time.
and he came out, and it was basically just a glorified sparring match.
It was a sparring match. They just
Yeah.
went back and forth the whole time.
Yeah,
The
he
whole night
came.
was just
He
back
came
and
in
forth
there
and
not to
finally
get
went
knocked out, and it was obvious.
Yeah.
I feel like he just needs a reason to train. That's
He
all.
does. Yeah, and it's it's just money for him, and we don't even want to deal with that. If that's all people are fighting for, then there's no
Yeah.
point in fighting.
Yeah, I mean, Canelo Alvarez is 21 years old. He's got.
The
his-
kid's got something to prove.
Yeah, and but
And he's
he's
fighting
mostly-
a 40-something-year-old person.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
he-
Mosley's
I mean, Mosley has something to prove too, but he's just not as fit as a 21-year-old. I mean,
No,
come
he
on,
doesn't
you
have that
can't.
stamina.
Yeah.
You know, he does have the experience. He doesn't have the stamina. The only good boxer I know of in his 40s is Vitaly Klitschko.
Exactly.
Nobody can come near him.
Exactly. Yeah. So speaking of boxing, you won your Golden Gloves a couple weeks ago.
Yes,
Golden
I
Glove
did.
champion.
Yes,
2 years in a row.
Yes, me and my teammate Mitch, we did win the championship.
Mitch next definitely proved himself. I saw the fight.
And he's going to MMA now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so now he's itching for a new fight.
Mhm.
So, he's had his rest and, he's 21 and anxious
And
again.
partying is over. Hopefully.
Let's hope.
That's good. Good.
And he's itching to get back into action. But yeah, Mitch won by TKO. He stopped the guy in second round, the first 30 seconds of the second round.
He did a great job, actually. His head was in the game the whole time.
Yeah.
He kind of waited it out in the first round and watched his opponent, and then made his moves in the second round.
Yeah,
which
that's
was perfect.
That's pretty much his game.
Yeah.
He almost like observes them the first round. He doesn't quite let them get close enough, and
Yeah,
then he
right.
completely breaks them down in the second round.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw.
And that's how he's been through all his fights in MMA
MMA
and
and
boxing. I see him do the same thing to people in sparring, if those are the people he doesn't know. So, yeah, and the girl that I fought, she came in there not to get knocked out.
Yeah,
And
she was a rookie. I mean, you could kind of see it in her face when she started. I think this was one of her first.
It was her first fight, yeah.
And this was,
She was definitely backed by Golden Gloves, though.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure.
God.
She was the
yeah.
one who.
She had the look that they wanted. They thought she was gonna win. I'm sure. But
Everybody thought
when it came down to
she
it,
was bigger than I was.
She was a lot taller.
She was a lot taller. I walked out. I was like,
Her
Oh my
reach
God.
was ridiculous.
Yeah. and yet even in Chicago
But
Tribune, they said that I was able to
preparation
out-jab her.
Yes. Preparation
So-
definitely pays off. So
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
wasn't prepared. So Peterson Khan is coming up soon.
Actually, not anymore because Lamont Peterson got caught doping.
And I'd
Seems to
love
be
to
a thing
see
lately.
Amir Khan
Yeah, right?
fight, and this is a shame. So I hope
Yeah.
they're going to pair him up with somebody else.
I hope so, but
We'll
you know
see.
what? The thing is, it was supposed to be a rematch. The last time when they fought, it was a very unfair call. Amir Khan totally won the fight,
Yeah.
and the judges gave it to
Right.
Lamont Peterson.
Yeah.
And I really would have loved to see Amir Khan get justice for it. And it's a shame that he won't. You know,
Yeah.
it's a shame that his opponent has to resort to doping in order
to win.
Right,
Yes,
right.
exactly.
And I wish that that wasn't the case. I mean, that's the case in UFC. That's the case. It seems like a lot of people now are being caught
It's true.
doping,
Actually.
and it's like you're gonna get caught.
Right.
So why put yourself out there and then you get caught and everybody knows that that's what you do? You know you're gonna lose your job. You lose a shot. I mean,
Or at least get suspended for a while, and
Right.
then that's the association that they make above you, right? Oh, well,
Right.
he's a doper. Or, oh, well, he's
Yeah,
So it's
you
like, why
basically
not just
shoot
I
your
mean,
patient.
I don't obviously train like you do, but I would feel like just bust my ass, do what I can do, and that's all that. If I give 100%,
Yeah.
that's better than me doping and winning like that. To me, that's like
Exactly.
cheating.
It is cheating.
Yeah. It is, exactly, and that's
And
you
it's
know,
sad.
that's why
it's sad because
you know,
there's a lot of good fights out there, like the Overeem fight,
Yeah.
that now we don't get to see because.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Did that.
that's another issue too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see him fight. Strike Force is coming up soon. I think.
Yeah, it's coming
Yeah,
next
next
weekend,
weekend,
you know,
yeah.
when Lamont Peterson and Amir Khan was supposed to be fighting, so at least we
Yeah.
have something to
At least
watch.
something's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, and in
There's
that
no
fight,
life without fighting.
no, not at all.
Every
no.
weekend there has to be something.
There has to be something. Every weekend I freaking fight. I'll live for those Saturdays.
Yes.
But yeah, this weekend it's gonna be finally the finale of the Grand Prix tournament that started like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it comes down to babyface Assassin Burnett and
That's exciting.
Danielle Cormier. So, isn't Cormier an Olympic wrestler?
I think so. I think so.
And so we'll see. It's gonna be another case of Olympian versus a trained MMA fighter.
Or like Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
She's getting a lot of publicity too right now because
Oh,
of coming out that she did tear some stuff in Misha Tate's arm.
We
Yes.
knew it. We saw it.
We saw it. The
Right.
thing is, Misha was saying, "Oh, my arm is fine. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be fighting soon."
We
and
saw
then
it happen.
finally,
That hurt.
And as much as
That
Ronda
hurt me
Rousey
from where I
talks,
was sitting.
as much as she talks all this shit, it's like
She
she
delivers.
backs it up.
Oh
So
yeah,
just
she delivers.
watch her. She's definitely gonna be the title holder for
For
a
a while.
long time.
Yes.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, she's got a shot with Sarah Kaufman and
When
unless
Dana White's backing her up too, so I wouldn't be surprised in the next few years that there's women in
Yes.
UFC because
Yeah, but
he's
you know-
very behind her.
Yeah,
right
but the
now.
thing is, he has to find somebody else to fight her. She can't just
Yeah.
walk out in the
Well, that's
octagon
true.
and look pretty.
That's
I
true.
mean, she
that's
can,
true.
but that's what they have Ariane Celeste for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going back to Strike Force, Josh Thompson, the Punk, and Gilbert Melendez.
Yes.
That'd be a good fight.
Yes.
That'd be a really good fight.
Yeah, and that's a
actually.
rematch. Another
Yes.
rematch. So, whom do you guys have?
I
have
would say
Gilbert.
Melendez.
I think Melendez, I like Thompson, but I love the
Gilbert.
scrapback.
Yeah, I do.
I love the
I
scrapback
do.
boys, and yeah, he's definitely one of
He
them.
definitely has the edge on that. So.
Yeah.